raid sirens blare in Kyiv as explosions reported across Ukraine. Indonesians arrive in Jakarta safely following the prolonged conflict in Khartoum. And Sarawak received 92 federal projects. Those are the headlines for tonight. You're now with me, Cheryl Shamato, and this is TVS Nightline. Air raid sirens were heard blaring in Kyiv on Friday, April 28, as Russia attacked cities in a wide arc across Ukraine, killing at least 2 people, according to media and officials. Audio of the sirens was captured on video from social media that showed a deserted street in Kyiv as the Ukrainian capital was rocked by explosions in the early hours of Friday morning. There were no details on what had been struck in Kyiv or any damage and casualties. The city's military administration said anti-aircraft units were in operation. The attacks come a day after the Kremlin said it would welcome anything that could bring the end of the conflict closer, referring to a telephone call between Chinese President Xi Jinping and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Wednesday, April 28. The Indonesian government has successfully evacuated its citizens from Sudan following the prolonged conflict in Khartoum. About 385 citizens arrived safely in Jakarta for the first phase on Friday, with 897 Indonesian citizens are expected to be extricated in stages soon. Our Indonesian correspondent David Andreas has the report.
Upaya membawa pulang seluruh rakyat Indonesia dari Khartoum, Sudan, Afrika Utara, susulan pertempuran yang terjadi di wilayah itu nampaknya berjaya apabila seramai 358 orang pada peringkat pertama telah tiba di Jakarta pagi tadi. Mereka dibawa dengan sebuah pesawat berlepas dari Jeddah dan menjadi kumpulan pertama yang berjaya sampai di tanah air. Indonesia yang secara khas melancarkan misi melalui Kementerian Luar Negaranya dengan bantuan Tentara Nasional Indonesia TNI berjaya membawa keluar 897 rakyatnya dari Khartoum. Kemudian mereka dibawa ke Jeddah yang merupakan pusat operasi di sana.
As the Air Force base in Sudan is quite a strategic location, and usually during a war it's always a scramble to get there, we had to wait for the evacuation schedules from other countries. But from that route, thank God we could evacuate our people, and today I hope we will be able to evacuate the remaining 115 and everything will be done soon.
Menurut Menteri Luar Negara Indonesia yang turut menyambut ketibaan pagi tadi, pihaknya melancarkan strategi dalam upaya pemindahan ini guna membawa rakyatnya secara bersegera dan memastikan keselamatan mereka.
Ketibaan tahap pertama ke tanah air WNI yang dievakuasi dari Sudan melalui Jeddah. Evakuasi kita kali ini dilakukan dengan menggunakan pola evakuasi secara estafet. Dimulai evakuasi jalan darat dari Khartoum ke Port Sudan, kemudian dari Port Sudan ke Jeddah, baik via laut maupun via udara, dan selanjutnya dipulangkan secara bertahap ke Indonesia.
Retno menambah, hal ini dilakukan melihat kondisi pertempuran berada pada fase kritikal yang menjadi antara cabaran upaya pemindahan. Selanjutnya, semua yang telah tiba akan dibawa ke pusat pemindahan guna mendapatkan khidmat kesehatan sebelum dihantar pulang ke wilayah masing-masing. Indonesia adalah antara negara yang melakukan upaya membawa keluar rakyatnya dari wilayah pertempuran di sana. Misi pemindahan ini turut dibantu pihak Kerajaan Arab Saudi yang menyediakan kapal untuk membawa mereka keluar dari pelabuhan Sudan. Seterusnya, seluruh warga negara Indonesia akan tiba secara berperingkat dalam 2 hari di hadapan. Dari Jakarta, Indonesia, David Andreas melaporkan untuk TVS.
Back in Sarawak, the State Ministry of Infrastructure and Port Development has received a list of 92 infrastructure projects worth 1.092 billion ringgit from the federal government. Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Ahmad Douglas Uga Embas, said the list was received following the federal government's decision to permit Sarawak and Sabah to implement development projects under 50 million ringgit earlier this year.
The Prime Minister has announced that they are giving they recognize JKR and DID as a technical department under AP 182. The project that is to be implemented by Sarawak, this project below 50 million. And now we have, they've given us the list. There are 92 projects from 14 ministries. The list has been given to JKR and DID for us to implement. The total value of the project is 1,990,419.7 ringgit. That is the value of the project of 92 projects. 87 projects will be implemented by JKR. 5 will be implemented by DID. JKR now is in the midst of working out the SOP to make sure that this project that is now entrusted to be implemented by Sarawak JKR as a technical department under AP 182 to be completed as scheduled.
Uga pointed out that Sarawak government is currently working to meet the manpower requirements in all Sarawak divisions in order to shoulder the added responsibility. According to him, a meeting will be held in Miri next Tuesday to gather feedback from the Works Department's divisional office and assess their readiness to implement the projects.
The 10th Anak Sarawak Awards themed Passion Inspires Legacy is set to take place on May 12. Organised by Business Events Sarawak, its Chief Executive Officer, Amelia Rosiman, said the awards ceremony symbolises all contributions, both big or small, which will leave an impact and legacy.
The award itself has 5 categories, and then if we total up to the subcategories, we will have 9 awards to be given out that night. What's different this year is that we have included Sarawak Legacy Award. So Sarawak Legacy Award, this is where we measured, all of the conferences that have been submitted on what are the legacy impact towards the economic, towards the sectorial, social, and environmental, that conference has made, over the years, when it was held in Sarawak previously. So this is the new award category that we have.
Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg is expected to grace the event. At the same time, Abang Johari is expected to make 2 announcements in regards to the event that will be organised in Sarawak in the future.
Yes, Premier will be guest of honour, and then he will be announcing 2 important events that we're going to have in the future times, but I won't reveal it now. Yes, it relates to the business events, yes. And I'm sure all other infrastructure and new developments pertain business events too.
She said this after paying a courtesy call to the Premier of Sarawak at Wisma Bapa Malaysia on Friday. Also present were Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts, Datuk Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah, and B Sarawak's chairman, Datuk Abang Abdul Karim Tun Openg.
Both employers and employees are required to adhere the Occupational Safety and Health Amendment Act 2022, or shortly known as the A1648 Act. In order to reduce the occurrence of accidents at workplace, Sarawak's Director of Occupational Safety and Health OSH Department, Dr. Noor Halim Hassan said, in conjunction with the World OSH Day, everyone must play an important role in achieving what has been outlined in the OSH Master Plan 2025.
Dalam usaha menjadikan tempat kerja selamat, sihat dan bebas dari kemalangan dan penyakit pekerjaan, saya menyeru agar semua pihak sama ada pekerja, majikan dan badan bukan kerajaan NGO untuk bersama-sama menjalankan program dan aktiviti yang menyumbang ke arah pengurangan kemalangan selari dengan prinsip peraturan kendiri atau self-regulation yang menjadi teras Akta Keselamatan dan Kesihatan Pekerjaan Pindaan 2022 atau juga disebut dengan Akta A1648. JKKP Sarawak memandang serius setiap kemalangan yang berlaku dan semua majikan digesa agar mempertingkatkan tahap keselamatan dan kesihatan pekerjaan di tempat kerja.
Make climate cool again. Let's talk about the environment is attempting a new record in a Malaysia book records on banning plastic straws. The Kuching South City Council's MBK's effort to eliminate plastic straws has been significantly impactful since it was imposed in July last year. As such, the new record attempt will be announced this Sunday, April 30. The exhibition jointly organized by MBKS, Naked Wonders and Natural Resources and Environmental Board will take place at MBKS Community Hall starting April 29th until May 8th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
This is the first time, in actual fact, the council have a joint venture with volunteers group, all right? Because I think in protecting the earth is not only the duty of the city council, all right? Earth belongs to everyone, right? So that's why...
In conjunction with the Earth Hour 2023 last month, the Council held an Earth Hour campaign which saw a load reduction of 8 megawatts and carbon dioxide by 2,400 kilograms during the 1-hour event. He noted the whole of Sarawak, except Limbang and Lawas, experienced a load reduction of 33 megawatts and carbon dioxide reduction of 9,900 kilograms.
I think this is a follow-up from our, if you remember, last month we have this Earth Hour, yeah? That was on the 25th of March. All right, 25th of March, that's Earth Hours. And then I think at that time, MBKS is the lead organizer. So from there, we managed to off the light for an hour, yeah? And then we have saved 8 megawatts at MW, meaning that the CO2, all right, have been reduced by 2,400 kg within that hour. For the overall Sarawak, except Limbang and Lawas, the load reduction is 33 MW, and CO2 reductions by 9,900 kg. All right. So I think from all the hot weather, flash floods, you know, climate change and all that, I think this we have been experiencing it for the past month or so. All right. So I think it should be the God that is sending us a signal, lah. Okay. So to us as a city council, I think we need to take the lead in protecting our Mother Earth, because I think this should be our foremost duty now.
We further added that the exhibition aims to create a one-stop space to advocate for the public on environmental issues, showcase local heroes who are making a difference, raise awareness about climate change, provide education to the public, and encourage sustainable development.
Coming up right after the break, parents nod to donning of face masks in schools and more on the diet dilemma. Right here on TVS Nightline, stay tuned. Welcome back to the Nightline. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim dismisses the allegations that the Malaysia Madani open house in conjunction with the Aidilfitri celebration is a wasteful endeavour. He said that the program was not implemented in a personal capacity, but it was recommended by the government as an effort to connect with the people.
Kerajaan buat, di mana-mana pun kerajaan buat, semua kerajaan buat untuk rakyat, bukan membazir, bagi makan rakyat, bukan bagi saya lah membazir, tidak membazir. Kalau kita buat untuk peribadi, untuk keluarga itu buat peribadi lah. Kalau kita bagi untuk rakyat atau nama kerajaan dan jauh lebih murah buat di Alor daripada buat di Putrajaya.
Anwar was in response to Perikatan Nasional's allegations that the programs held in 6 states would be costly. The open house event for the celebration of Aidilfitri will be held in Kedah, Selangor, Negeri Sembilan, Pulau Pinang, Kelantan and Terengganu, with Kedah being the first location on April 29th. Anwar said this to reporters after performing Friday prayers at the Jaminul Ehsan Masjid, Kampung Kubu Gajah in Sungai Buloh, which was also attended by Selangor Chief Minister Datuk Seri Amiruddin Syari.
The Sarawak Teachers Union (STU) have expressed their full support towards the Health Ministry's suggestion on the wearing of face masks in schools. Its President Kulin Jayang said it can prevent the spread of the COVID-19 virus among children who are vulnerable to infection.
Sememangnya STU bersetuju dengan YB Menteri Kesihatan di mana pemakaian semula pelitup mulut dan hidung di sekolah harus diteruskan. Kita semua sedar memang semua kita telah divaksin dengan lengkap. Namun kita tidak tahu sejauh mana kesan varian baru yang ada. Jadi adalah lebih baik untuk mengambil langkah bersama berjaga-jaga, khasnya bagi yang mempunyai anak yang ada mengidap penyakit-penyakit kronik.
He added, the wearing of face masks is important in enclosed and crowded spaces, especially with the potential rise of cases following the discovery of COVID-19 Arcturus variant.
Pemakaian pelitup mulut dan hidung ini amat perlu diberikan perhatian khasnya di dalam bas sekolah, van, makmal, perpustakaan serta bilik-bilik kelas yang tertutup. Begitu juga ketika menjalankan PDPC di mana ia melibatkan aktiviti berkumpulan kerana ketika itu murid sudah pasti duduk berdekatan atau bersentuhan antara satu sama lain.
As of April 24th, Malaysia recorded 12 Arcturus infections. Of the figures, 6 were reported in Sarawak, 4 more in Selangor and 2 in Kuala Lumpur.
In the same matter, parents also expressed their agreement towards the suggestion as soon as school session resumes. For them, the mask mandate in schools will be effective in curbing the spread of COVID-19, especially with the emergence of a new variant.
Kami memang sesuai dan perlu jugalah sebab memandangkan mun setidaknya mula aktiviti berkumpulan terutamanya lah setidaknya akan dekat dengan kawan. So apabila dekat jadi kemungkinan besar kan mun seorang yang sakit demam ke nya cepat merebak lah. Jadi mask tu ataupun pelitup muka tu perlulah bagi menghalang ataupun boleh menghindarkan penyakit yang kita tahu yang kini tu lah.
Sebagai ibu bapa tu tuang mudah benda yang merebak kata orang lagi takut kelaknya merebak kepada orang awam lagi parah jadinya.
Kalau orang sihat tu terpulang, tapi kalau macam yang batuk sesama atau yang tidak sihat tu perlulah untuk pakai. Sekurang-kurangnya kita ada perlindungan lah daripada sikap berjangkit kepada orang awam.
In regards to the matter, Health Minister Dr. Zaliha Mustafa informed that the standard operating procedure for the wearing of face masks in schools will be addressed after an official meeting with the Minister of Education, Fadlina Sidek, in the near future.
On to the next highlight. The initial decision by the unity government to provide allocation to opposition members of parliament as a reasonable step in ensuring the smooth functioning of the parliamentary democracy system in Malaysia. Although socio-political analyst Associate Professor Dr. Awang Azman Awangpawi said that the government should set certain conditions to ensure that the opposition does not cause any political disturbances that could hinder the government's efforts to stabilize the country's economy.
Adalah satu yang perlu dialu-alukan. Tapi pada masa yang sama, kita hendak sebuah kerajaan yang stabil. Jadi dicadangkan agar pembangkang perlu dikenakan syarat untuk sama-sama menstabilkan negara, dan pada masa yang sama juga mereka perlu pastikan tempoh penggal satu penggal ini 5 tahun ini tidak ada gangguan-gangguan ataupun politiking. Yang ini perlu diletak dalam bentuk persetujuan apabila peruntukan tersebut diagihkan.
He said this when contacted by TVS on Friday. Dr. Awang Azman also added that the conditions can be classified as a form of reciprocity between the government and the opposition. Previously on Thursday, Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi announced that the government is willing to provide the allocations to the opposition's MPs. He also said that the matter is being discussed currently by Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Fadilah Yusof and the relevant parties, while the announcement will be made by the Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim.
Instant noodles, packed with an uncountable variety of flavor, are no stranger among Malaysians as a light, neat snack or even a dish for lunch or breakfast. However, according to clinical dietitian Law Hui Ying, she warned that a meal of instant noodles contains more than 1 gram of sodium, in contrary to the recommendation of the World Health Organization (WHO) for adults, which is 2 grams daily.
Hence, she reminds the public to reduce the practice of opting instant packed meals, which contains more sodium, such as instant noodles, over a more balanced diet.
We actually know that instant noodles is not a very healthy option because it contains very high salt, or we call sodium. So sodium can be found mainly in salt and also, like as we all know, MSG, monosodium glutamate. So the salt content that is usually recommended by WHO for adults is actually only 2 grams per day. And guess what? In instant noodles, it can be up to 1.3 grams, which is actually more than half of the content of the sodium that is actually recommended in our diet.
She said this when contacted by TVS on the risk of instant noodle intake on Friday. She also suggests that there are a variety of choices of food to have a balanced diet, namely brown rice, fresh vegetables, and fruits.
So because, for example, we say like bread, if we buy a fresh bread, it takes probably 3 or 4 days and then it gets moldy. But what about our instant noodles? It takes almost 1 or 2 years to spoil, or even after the expiry date, you still can eat the instant noodles. So they actually add a lot of preservative to preserve the shelf life of the product. So the best thing is still, if you can, go for fresh food options. You don't have to eat expensive food like salmon or like asparagus. You can just eat like our local foods. For example, you can go for our brown rice, you can go for vegetables, and also a balanced meal. So,
according to her, instant noodles contain ethylene oxide, a chemical often used in pesticides and active ingredients in detergents. On Wednesday, the Ministry of Health (MOH) has ordered a voluntary recall of the white curry noodle product for the batches expiring on August 25, 2023 from the Malaysian market following the detection of ethylene oxide in Ahlai Penang white curry and Indomie special chicken flavor products.
And now on to more world affairs. An overloaded passenger speedboat sank in the waters of Indonesia's western province of Riau on Thursday, left at least 11 people dead and 9 others missing. The National Search and Rescue Agency said the boat sank 30 minutes after departing from a seaport in the district.
A video from the Indonesian National Search and Rescue Agency showed locals tending to survivors on the ground at Indragiri Hilir after they were rescued out at sea. Officials further added that the ferry was carrying out about 74 people to the small island of Tanjung Pinang near neighboring Singapore when it is suspected to have hit a log about 30 minutes after it set sail. Meanwhile, a search was underway for one person still missing, and within the next few days, the Search and Rescue Office would wait for reports from relatives or family about the loss of their members.
And U.S. pop star Katy Perry has lost a long-running trademark dispute against an Australian fashion designer. According to court documents published on Thursday, April 27, the Federal Court of Australia ruled in favour of Australian fashion designer Katie Taylor, who has used her birth name Katy Perry to design and sell clothes since 2006. As such, she has owned the trademark for Katy Perry since July 2009.
That's exactly right. So this judgment for me feels like it's really supportive of IP law, of Australian law, and backing our small businesses. It doesn't happen all the time. I know I'm really fortunate. And the main message I want to share with everyone is that small business matters. We all matter, no matter if you're a mum with small little kids or a huge pop star. We all matter, no matter how big or small our business is, and to really stand up for what you believe in.
The trademark infringement case, launched by Taylor in 2019, concluded last Friday, April 21st, with the judge releasing the results only on Thursday.
See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally. For more headlines anytime, anywhere, just head on to our official website at tvstv.my or follow us on our social media platforms. And that's all the time we have for TVS Nightline. I'm Shal Shameto. Thank you for watching.